So, you're gonna do some homework. I'm proud of you. Welcome to Side Quest A, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. saga. Now in this side quest, you'll be required to complete 2 seasons of Agent Carter, 7 seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., including a miniseries called Slingshot, and 1 season of Inhumans. Now these shows run parallel and concurrently to the films you have watched from the Infinity Saga, so hopefully you have completed that quest. Now before we begin, may I remind you that this video will contain spoilers and I will be making connections from these shows to the films from the Infinity Saga. And just as a heads up, it will take you approximately 120 hours and 42 minutes to complete this side quest. So strap in, grab some popcorn, and let's get started. First, we're going to watch Agent Carter Season 1. This takes place in 1946, 1 year after Captain America the First Avenger. The opening montage includes footage from that film, as well as footage from the Agent Carter one-shot. We see the return of Peggy Carter, Howard Stark, Dum Dum Dugan, Anim Zola, and Edwin Jarvis, whom we met briefly in Avengers Endgame. Introduced for the first time, we have Dottie Underwood, Dr. Faustus, and Anton Vanko, the father to Ivan Vanko, also known as Whiplash, whom we last met in Iron Man 2. Next, we're going to watch Agent Carter Season 2. Taking place in 1947, we see Howard Stark make Hollywood films in Los Angeles. We're introduced to a new element known as Zero Matter, also known as the Dark Force, which will be explored further in the later seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. New characters such as Whitney Frost are introduced, and this season ends on a massive cliffhanger, which unfortunately we do not get to see what happens as this show was not renewed for a Season 3. Taking place after the first Avengers film, we're going to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 1. Now if you remember, Agent Phil Coulson was killed by Loki in that first movie. However, in this show we find out that he has been resurrected, as he leads a team which consists of Melinda May, Grant Ward, Leo Fitz, Gemma Simmons, and Skye. Now many characters from the films make cameos here, such as Maria Hill, Nick Fury, Jasper Sitwell, Lady Sif, and from Item 47 one-shot, Felix Blake. Now this show makes connections to many of the films from the Infinity Saga, so let's get into that now. Episode 1, called The Pilot, references a dangerous serum called Extremis, which was first introduced back in Iron Man 3. Episode 8, called The Well, is a direct connection to Thor the Dark World, as we see the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. clean up the mess made by Thor and Malekith. Episode 16, called The End of the Beginning, leads us into Captain America the Winter Soldier. And from episode 17 to 22 deals with the aftermath, as we find out that Hydra has infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D. and that one of our agents is indeed a traitor. Next, we're going to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2, as we see the team deal with the aftermath after Hydra's infiltration and the downfall of S.H.I.E.L.D. This season introduces us to Terrigen mists that when exposed to certain humans triggers Terrigenesis, transforming them into Inhumans. As we see the return of our Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., we are introduced to many characters from the comic books, such as Glenn Talbot, Kyle Crusher Creel, also known as the Absorbing Man, Cal Zabo, also known as Mr. Hyde, and Bobby Morse, also known as Mockingbird. Episode 19 sees a character by the name of Raina predict the events of Avengers Age of Ultron, as she sees metal men cause mass destruction around the world. Episodes 20 to 22 deals with the aftermath of Avengers Age of Ultron and the emergence of Inhumans. Next, we're going to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3 as we continue to explore the emergence of Inhumans. Skye, now going by the name of Daisy Johnson, also known as Quake, mentions that people are scared of Inhumans after the events of Avengers Age of Ultron. In episode 1, Phil Coulson mentions to Fitz about the PIM Technologies disaster, making connections to the film Ant-Man. In episode 19, the Hive foreshadows the events of Captain America Civil War, saying that war is inevitable when we have billionaires creating iron suits and military men creating super soldiers. Episode 20 deals with the aftermath of Captain America Civil War, as Phil Coulson reads a newspaper article about Peggy Carter's death while watching the news about the public fallout between Tony Stark and Steve Rogers. By the end of the season, the Sokovia Accords are in full swing, and Glenn Talbot seeks to register all Inhumans, forcing Daisy Johnson, an Inhuman herself, to go on the run. Next, we're going to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4, Episodes 1 to 8. And here we're introduced to a character by the name of Robbie Reyes, also known as Ghost Rider. In Episode 5, we hear Senator Ellen Nadir mention the disturbances in Hong Kong, making reference to the final battle between Doctor Strange and Dormammu. We are also introduced to a mythical book known as The Darkhold, which will be later explored in the shows Runaways and WandaVision. And by this time of the season, the Inhumans Registration Act is in full swing. Next, we are going to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Slingshot, a 6-part digital series based on the character of Yo-Yo Rodriguez. This show takes place after the Ghost Rider arc of Season 4. However, the majority of the series is a flashback, taking place several months ago when we see Yo-Yo sign the Sokovia Accords. Next, we're going to watch Inhumans, as we're introduced to the royal family of Atalan. This family consists of Black Bolt, Medusa, Gorgon, Karnak, Triton, Crystal, and the teleporting dog Lockjaw. As the royal family goes from the blue side of the moon to Hawaii, they find themselves in the middle of the Inhumans Registration Act, where in Episode 6, Crystal gets questioned on whether she should be on that register. Now take note, the actor who plays Black Bolt, Anson Mount, will reprise his role again as a variant version of Black Bolt in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. After Inhumans, we're going to watch the rest of Season 4 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. from Episodes 9 to 22. Here we continue to explore advanced technologies such as artificial intelligence and the virtual reality called the Framework. By the end of the season, we see the return of Ghost Rider as he travels through a portal similar to the sorcerer's scene in Doctor Strange. Next, we're going to watch Season 5 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where we see our agents travel to the future to the year 2091. As they make their way back to present day, we discover a new element called gravitonium, which has transformed Glenn Talbot to the villain known as Graviton. Towards the end of the season, we hear about Thanos' assault on Earth, making connections to Avengers Infinity War. Glenn Talbot, now drunk and disillusioned on power by the gravitonium, decides to go help the Avengers fight Thanos, and it is at this point that this show no longer connects to the MCU films. It could be possible that this event created a branch timeline, as we never hear about Thanos' snap or the disappearance of half the universe in Season 6 and Season 7 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Next, we're going to watch Season 6 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where we are introduced to time-traveling aliens called the Chronicles. This season explores parallel universes and time travel and continues to exist outside of the main MCU narrative. Now, to conclude this side quest, we're going to watch Season 7 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The entirety of this season focuses on time travel as we see our Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. navigate through the time stream. We see the return of Daniel Souza, who we were last introduced to in Agent Carter Season 1. As the team discovers that they are on an alternate timeline, they travel through the quantum realm back to the end of Season 6 where they defeat the Chronocoms. The finale takes place 1 year after Season 6 as we find out where each of our Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. have ended up, making this a fitting conclusion to the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. saga. Congratulations, you've completed your first side quest. I hope you ate a lot of popcorn and enjoyed getting deeper into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now from here, I would highly suggest you complete side quest B, the Defenders Saga, as many characters from this side quest will pop up again in future films and TV shows. Of course, if you don't have the time, you may skip ahead and watch the first part of the Multiverse Saga. However, I would highly suggest that you don't skip your homework, so I'll see you in the next video. If you found this video helpful and informative, may I kindly invite you to hit the like and subscribe button down below. Also hit the notification bell to stay up to date with the MCU timeline as Marvel continues to release films and TV shows. And maybe let me know down in the comment section below your favourite moment from the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. saga.